Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's super early in the morning and I need to get my watering done to start my day because guess what? I'm traveling for business again this week. So we got to get it all done and we got to get it done quickly. So let's get this water turned on, starting the irrigation system and watering all of the plants in the towers. For those of you new here, I'm Kim and you're at Kim's Kozy Corner. I live in Southwest Ohio. I am in Zone 6A, and I am a home gardener. I believe in home cooking, made from scratch, all natural, and growing my own food. I have almost succeeded in growing a year's supply of all of the vegetables for my family in my small backyard garden. And to be perfectly honest with you, the garden is doing amazing. I mean, it's not really showing any signs of letting down and starting to die back on some things. So we want to keep the watering regimen going so that we don't lose any possible harvest. We are now on the west side of my home, and this isn't an area I show often in the garden, but this is Australian butter squash here. This is my second planting of Australian butter squash. And no fruit yet. That might be a problem. But the vine is long. It has flowers everywhere. But we'll see what happens. Now, this was buttercup. It's gone. There's nothing in that bed. In this pot here, I have some purple hull peas. I just threw the seeds in. But you can see here that the hostas are even starting to die back. So for the hostas, they said they're done. And all the way in the back here, I do have a tomato plant that I didn't plant that still has about 4 tomatoes on it. And I guess it's happy. All I do is water. I haven't been fertilizing or anything like that for that particular plant, but there's some tomatoes on it and we will enjoy those. This is another space I don't talk a lot about, but these are my sweet potatoes. I have a 100-gallon grow bag right here with sweet potatoes in it that I started from slips myself. I did not buy any. I did it from slips. And they're doing well. And I water them maybe once a week, but I know I'm going to be out of town for a week. So don't want to take any chances on them dying out while I'm gone, because this is kind of a space it's not out of sight because it's the first thing you see when you come out the house, but it's definitely not on the top of anyone's mind because they're just going to do their thing until right before that first frost comes. So it has a full month and a half to go, but don't want to lose track and let them dry out. I want a nice harvest of sweet potatoes. Boy, how did I let a weed get that big? Ooh, that's a big weed. I did have one more container of potatoes here that I planted pretty early in the season, but later than everything else. So I guess you'll say this was round 1.5 that my girls harvested for me yesterday. And so here's the video. Well, here's the still frames of that potato harvest. Now, in this container, there were a variety of different types of potatoes. It was just whatever I had left over from the previous year and onesie twosies of other stuff. And I tell you what, this was a great harvest. I think the potatoes like growing in this area here. Now, looking at the pictures here, I do believe I had some of my largest potatoes as well in this space. So the girls managed it all by themselves. I wasn't with them at all. They just handled their business with that bag of potatoes. Good morning. How are you today? Good. So now I'm over to my green stalks. And my green stalks, when it's 90 degrees in the shade, I typically water them every day unless there's high humidity. If there's high humidity, it's probably an every other day type watering. Um, it's been hot. It's been more than 90 in the shade. And but it's been extremely humid. So I've been kind of careful on how I'm watering my towers. But I'm going to be gone for a week again, and I don't want them to dry out. So I'm going to give them a nice, good drink this morning, and then my family will be able to take care of it going forward. And I mean, there's some like really nice size tomatoes on this tower too that are still trying to grow, and they're still very happy. I mean, I I mean, look at this. They're very heavy, they're green, they're full. They are not ready to quit. They are ready to continue to produce. I'm going to have to do some more staking up there. I picked all of these yesterday, or was it the day before? I've lost track, but still green, healthy, blooms everywhere. So we're going to keep watering and keep them happy. Now look at these peas. These are cream zipper peas. And I thought I was having a hard time getting them to germinate, but they're beautiful. They're so full. The tower is really filling out. I can't complain. I think I see one pocket that didn't germinate and only one pocket. So I think that's another successful germination. It just needed a little more love and care. Yeah, got a jungle over here. It's a jungle. Yeah. Over here in my little orchard area, I have melons over here that I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think these melons are going to do anything, but I'm going to keep watering nonetheless. I might get lucky and something happens, but I'm not holding my breath on melons. And these potatoes, they were dying back. They got a disease. I should have pulled them all out. I didn't. With traveling and harvesting what was working, I just left it. I know that's not what I'm supposed to do, but I just left it. And I don't know. I'll give them another 3 or 4 weeks. We'll pull them out. We may not get anything out of them. And I might get lucky and get a few new potatoes in here. So we are going to just let them ride, see what happens. Now, I've always grown a second round of potatoes after I pull the first round, but I've never had them get the disease or whatever is happening to these. And like I said, I should have cut them back, pulled them out so that the disease wouldn't spread. But with my travel schedule, I didn't realize I had a problem until it pretty much was already on every one of these potato plants. So I'm going to keep watering. We're going to keep growing, and we're just going to see what happens. One of the other reasons I want to give a really good watering is because there's no rain in sight for at least 10 days. 10 days. No rain, but a lot cooler weather. So that'll help if my helpers don't water deep enough. Got squash coming on over here. You see that? There's a little white scallop coming on. And this plant back here is one of my Australian butter squash, and it's coming this way and going that way. And on the back side, it's hard to see, but there's another vine going there all the way over, almost to my towers over there. So it's happy, and it has some little baby fruit. There's a little baby fruit right there. So hopefully I will get some more Australian butter winter squash. My absolutely favorite squash that I haven't been able to find seeds anywhere except for Azure Standard. That's priced reasonably anyway. It's not a typical brand. It's not a popular brand. And I think it's just because people don't know about it. But Australian butter squash, it tastes 100% like sweet potatoes, but it's not stringy in any way. The only thing wrong with them is they taste delicious. I planted more okra. So this is okra right here that I'm watering. So my mom went from no okra to now I'm afraid she's going to have more okra than she knows what to do with. All right, so I have a melon plant here that's starting to vine its way around. Let's see which way I want to send it. It has some little baby melons on it too. So I may not get anything, but might as well try. And I do have empty containers throughout the garden that I'm kind of holding out on because I want to put some of my fall plants in them. So they're just sitting empty. I haven't amended the soil or anything because I don't want all of my amendments being washed out by the rain. So they're just sitting empty. There's not many. There's like 3 pots or something like that throughout the garden. So it's not too bad. You see these plants right here? These are all cream zipper peas, and they are trying to vine a little bit. They're starting to put flowers on. So I believe we will get a harvest of cream zipper peas. They're just like purple whole peas. I'll probably even mix them together because I have a few of those out in the garden as well. And it takes so many to get, a batch. So I have them in containers. I have them in my tower. I have them in my raised beds. And it was kind of a late planting. So we will see what happens. It's looking good though. It's looking like I will get a harvest. The question will be, how long will they produce? And that's all dependent on when that first frost comes for us. And that first frost for me is typically mid to late October. And the season we've been having, who knows? Next week I might have frost. I can't trust the weather anymore, but I should be okay. I should be okay. And if it looks like frost is going to come early, I can protect them. I'll put some kind of frost cover over them to protect them, because if I can get to mid-October, then I definitely get a harvest. If I can get to November, then I'm going to get an even bigger harvest. Last week in this space here, we planted cilantro together, and it has come up. It's doing its thing. It's happy. Cucumbers are doing okay back there. Want to make sure I didn't miss any massive ones when I picked over the last couple of days. I think we're good. No, we're not. There are cucumbers down there that I missed. How did I miss those? Every time I think I'm getting ahead. So I'm going to have to come back, grab a couple cucumbers. Strawberries are coming back in. Nice and green, lush and full. Girls are eating the grapes. Now, this is my first year of grapes, so they came in, but they're small. So I'm not going to be mad because I have grapes. And there's a melon. You might not be able to see it. It might be too far back, but there is a melon growing right there. Now, I can't say that melon's going to do anything in the long run, but it is definitely there. Here's a perfect strawberry that the girls are not going to get. I'm going to eat this right now. Mm. Now, that strawberry wasn't as sweet as the ones back in the spring. I mean, it's good. I'm not going to knock a free strawberry. Now, this is the only tower that I haven't fully replanted yet. Not yet. I did pick some green beans off of it. There are tomatoes that I've picked, and there's more growing. I did pick cucumbers off of the tower yesterday or the day before. I don't know. It's all running together. I see something that's completely dead and needs to be pulled out as well. I have basil in the top, and I see flowers on my basil, and we don't want that. Oh, actually, this isn't even my basil. This is a different type of basil. I don't know, is it globe basil or something like that? But I didn't plant this. This is a random seed. Let's put it over there. Maybe we'll have basils growing with our strawberries next year. But you can see I have a lot of open pockets where I planted seeds and they didn't germinate. So we will get those pockets filled next week, not this week. I'm out of time. I am down to less than 24 hours before my trip. You know, as I look into the garden to see what's doing well and what's dying back, the biggest thing that's dying back are my flowers. Everything else is just like still like pumping out like crazy. And I'm not mad. The okra over here is doing really well. Couple heads of okra need to be picked. Cucumbers need to be picked. I can't get ahead. Found a few green beans that I should have got yesterday. These are my 3 eggplants, and I have a bloom on this one here. Something was eating them really bad, but I'm starting to get some new leaves and some new germination. So maybe I'll get a couple more eggplants before the end of the season. There's a lot of stuff I need to get out the garden, though. I think it's time for me to pull that broccoli that I planted back in March or April timing so we can get the new broccoli in. Tomatoes are still doing really well. Oh, goodness, I missed a ton of those yesterday. Gotta get the tomatoes harvested. I need to go grab a harvest basket. There's just too much out here, so I will be right back. Okay, forgot to turn the camera on, so let me tell you what I did so far. I've picked a few cucumbers. I've picked a few green beans. I've picked some tomatoes. Um, I thought I picked all of this stuff yesterday, just to be honest with you. So the fact that I'm getting anything at all is quite amazing because I shouldn't have gotten anything because I thought I did this yesterday. And there are some huge tomatoes in here that I'm afraid to leave them because if I leave them, I'm afraid the squirrels are going to get them. Like, look at that. I'm taking it. I don't want the squirrels to have it. I don't want to share with the squirrels. So it's already blushing, so it can finish ripening in the house without interference from those squirrels. Like, look right there. Those are all of my cream zipper peas going crazy in the garden. So there's some cream zipper peas there. So I think we might, like I said, get a pretty good harvest. Let me finish getting these vegetables. Let's see if we can pull a carrot or two. Okay, now back to these carrots. Okay, this looks like it's going to be a big one. Let's see. Just a couple carrots. Let's grab this one here, which looks pretty nice. Uh-oh. Well, I waited too long on that one. Look at that bad boy. It'll eat just the same. Here we go. A few carrots to take in the house. And when I get back from my trip, I'm going to have to just go ahead and pull these out because they are starting to fork and turn because they're hitting stuff in the ground. And some of these have been in here quite a while. All right, so I cleaned off the carrots just a little bit. I'm going to add them to the harvest basket. And remember, this was not supposed to be a harvest video, but you have to get the harvest when it comes in. So thank you for joining me for this short video of watering the garden, getting it prepared for me being away for a week. Want to make it as easy on my family as possible to maintain this space when I'm traveling. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, tell your friends, family, and neighbors about Kim's Cozy Corner. Until next time, I hope to see you back here again really soon. Bye.